When you're starting a business, choosing the right legal structure is one of the first and most important decisions you'll make. One of the most common questions is whether you should establish as an LLC or as a C corporation. In this video, I'll go over what an LLC is, what a C corporation is, the difference between the two, and some general advice as to what might be good for you. So let's get it. An LLC is a flexible, easy business structure that offers protection when it comes to your personal assets. This is actually what we at Talk2C use. And to put it very simply, if Talk2C had a loan or if we got sued for any reason, the person servicing the loan or that sued us could take everything that Talk2C LLC owns, but they could not go after me and Falk's personal belongings. So it gives you the security that all you can lose is whatever you put into the business. Your personal assets will never be at risk. Secondly, the way it's taxed is what we call pass-through taxation, which means that whatever gain or loss you have at the end of the year goes directly to your personal tax return. So again, going back to the Talk2C example, if Talk2C had $1,000 in income and Falk and myself each own 50%, that means that $500 would flow into our personal tax return. Talk2C LLC itself does not pay any taxes. You also have the advantage that it's very flexible and easy to set up. I actually made a really good video about this. You can set up an LLC in minutes in Florida and in many states, and it's relatively cheap. I think for the Florida one, we paid $150 and we were established within a day. So if what you want is to get your business going, it's definitely a great way to start. On the other side, a C corporation or a C Corp is a way more complex business structure made for businesses that are looking to grow rapidly and to a massive scale. A C Corp is a separate business entity, similar to LLCs. If someone sues you or if you default on a loan, the people that go after you can only go after the C Corp's assets. They can't go after your personal assets. The second distinctive advantage is that you can raise capital. Think about Apple. Apple is a corporation and it can issue shares. A C Corp lasts perpetually. Once you establish a C Corp, you've basically created an entity. Think about it as you creating a person, and that entity is gonna exist forever. So the first main difference is taxation. With an LLC, you use something called pass-through taxation, and you would pay the ordinary income tax rate. So assuming you're in the middle bracket, if you had an income of 100, you would pay 24% and you would be left over with $76. Now, with a C corporation, you're gonna pay taxes twice. The C corporation pays taxes at the corporate level, which the tax rate in the United States right now is 21%. And after that, whatever's left over, if the owner wants to take it out, he also has to pay the capital gain tax rate on that money. And then on that $79, you have to take out 15% for the capital gain tax rate if you're in the middle of the bracket, and you'd be left over with $67. So as you can see, since the C Corp's taxed double, you're gonna save a little more money with the LLC. However, I wanna point out that as you can see in this table, this difference absolutely fades away once you reach the maximum tax bracket. Either with an LLC or with a C Corp, you're gonna end up paying around 37%. So if you're a high earner, you don't really save taxes with either business structure. The second difference is that with a C Corp, you can actually issue shares, which is a great way to grow the company really quickly. So when Apple was growing, it issued shares to investors in exchange for capital, in exchange for money, and they use that money to invest it back in the company and to grow to what it is today. With an LLC, it doesn't quite work that way. So if your plan is to really grow the company and to look for investors, it might be better off to establish as a C Corp. And then lastly, the other main difference is the simplicity. Setting up an LLC is very simple. You can use a cash accrual method of accounting, which if you're not an accountant is the simplest method to keep your books. And you don't really need articles of incorporation, a board of directors, or any meetings. The regulations are way lower for an LLC. A C Corp is a little more complex when it comes to regulations. So this is something that you definitely have to keep in mind as you make your decision. So after watching this entire video, what is the right business structure for you? And like everything, it depends. As a friend, I'd probably say that if you're starting a business like this YouTube channel, an LLC is probably the better option. A C-Corp is a little better for a more established business that you have dreams of growing and hopefully one day maybe even going public. One thing I'll notice that you can't change from an LLC to a C-Corp and vice versa. It is very complicated, but you can always hire the people to do that for you. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. Subscribe, we drop videos every Wednesday, so we'll see you next week. Peace.